Hello and welcome to part 2 of this Q&A. I'll try and do this as quick as I can because no matter how fast I try and go through the questions, I just talk too much. Ignore this on my hand, I'm filming this right after part 1. But yeah, let's get straight into it because this is very needed. First question, again, is by Zay. Love Zay so much. And they asked, who is your favourite person to cosplay with? In brackets, if it ain't me, I will cry. As much as I love you, Zay, I've only ever really, been with you in cosplay, or cosplayed with you at meetups or at cons, so I can't, unfortunately, say you. Once we've met and done cosplay content together, I'm sure it will be you. But for now, Abby, because Abby's the person who I've cosplayed with for the longest. We don't get to do it very often because obviously we both got lives, you know. But Abby, I feel like I'm the most comfortable around. Like, we make a lot of funny, silly content, and I love it. I miss Abby so much. But yeah, I'll do another question by Zay, just to make up for it. What are some of your dream cosplays? I feel like this is a very bad answer because I've already got like 2 of them. Angel Dust, who I will be doing very, very soon. I've wanted to cosplay him since I was 14, which is not good. But yeah, so Angel, who I do have the things for, I'm ready to cosplay him. I've done a cosplay test already. Definitely. Cat Noir from Miraculous. I've wanted to cosplay him since 2019. And I do have the bodysuit for him, but I don't have a wig, and I did have a wig, but I ended up giving it to Zay, and I never got around to styling it, so I'll get around to that eventually. Okay, eventually. Who else? I feel like there's Presentation Michael. I've cosplayed him in the past, okay? I cosplayed him when I first started cosplaying. I did him, Aizawa, and Todoroki. And I really want to bring him back because I love him so much, but I've never got round to it because 1, money, 2, I don't own any leather things. I'm going to get some when my birthday arrives, and also long wigs are a hassle to deal with, so I always just dread it. But yeah, definitely those 3. The next question is from one of my very lovely mutuals. They're so sweet. What's a makeup product you specifically got for cosplay but it just didn't work as you expected? My answer to that is the Snazaroo SFX wax. Obviously it's wax. Like, I don't know what exactly I was expecting for the texture of it, but I just really did not enjoy it. It's just very hard to work with. Like, it's so stiff. And I read the instructions, and like whenever it was like warm enough to like mold onto my face without hurting, I hate it. I hate the texture of it. But yeah, once it was warm, it would just get really, really sticky and just not work properly. Like, it was such a pain. I tried it with my Todoroki like once or twice, and yeah, while it looked okay, I was very uncomfortable the entire time, so I would definitely say that. And Snazaroo's white water-based face paint, because it was so streaky and so hard to get with decent coverage, you know. I now use Snazaroo's cream version. It's like, there's a lot of product in this. I would definitely say those 2 products because they just didn't work how I expected them to, and I didn't like how they worked. The next question is from another one of my mutuals, Ari. They're very sweet. They asked, do you use cosplay contacts, and if so, what brand? I've been meaning to get some. Lol. I would personally recommend Moko Queen and Uniqueso, but with Uniqueso, be very careful. When I used Uniqueso contacts, they sold 2 lenses. Now they only sell 1. Like, you need to buy, if you want like a pair of contacts, you need to buy 2 of the lens that shows on the screen because it only comes with 1, which is really annoying. I don't know why they've done that. Like, I don't know if it was just for gaining money, because they're the same price. 1 lens is the same price as it was for when you got 2 of them. Mocha Queen is really comfortable. I've tried their contacts once, and they, like, I didn't even feel them in my eye. I wore them for hours, and I was so comfortable. I am kind of a little bit of a disappointment to the cosplay community because I now use my contacts from AliExpress. But listen, hear me out, right? I know what people are going to say. You're going to go blind. Like, that is so dodgy. Yeah, it is. But at the exact same time, some of the AliExpress lenses have been more comfortable than the xoxo ones that I got. They're cheap, and they're year-long, most of them. I would recommend them, like, once you're more comfortable wearing contacts, if you want to, like, take the risk, you know. But I have friends who also buy from AliExpress and they've never had any problems, so sorry if you hear my guinea pigs in the back, they're being all nuisances. The next question is from this person right here. They're very nice. I've had, like, little conversations with them. I'm not very good at coming up with questions, but any tips for newer cosplayers? Don't give up. Like, do not lose patience when you're trying to get into cosplay or when you're trying to improve. It takes time, trust me on that. I know. It's been 4 years since I started cosplaying. Oh, almost. And I'm still not entirely pleased with how my cosplays look, you know? It takes a lot of time and a lot of practice and a lot of resilience to get to a point where you're happy. Please try not to see it as a competition. Don't worry that you might not start off looking as amazing as the cosplayers with hundreds of thousands of followers. That is just common sense. It takes time. They've progressed over the years to be at a higher, you know, standard than other cosplayers. But at the end of the day, we're all just silly little guys doing a silly little hobby, you know? It's not a competition. Some people make it feel like it is, and if that happens, I'm sorry. The makeup, I don't know if you've never done makeup before. I personally had never even tried on makeup before getting into cosplay. But it takes a lot of practice. It can be frustrating. It can, like, really overwhelm you, and from practicing so much, you can irritate your skin. I did that a lot. But just try to keep practicing, because the more you do it, the more easier it will get. Because I used to suck at eyeliner, now I can do it in a minute. Like, it just takes time. Everything takes time with cosplaying. Wig styling, like, trying to find the right things for you, everything. It takes time and patience to be able to find what's right for you, okay? As I've said in my comments before, I'm pretty sure, I will gladly do little tutorials on, like, how I do my eyeliner, how I do this and that, all of that kind of stuff. So if you would like that, then ask. I will not turn you away, I promise. For newer cosplayers, don't let anyone who comments, who especially isn't a cosplayer, don't let them people get to you, because they just see, most of the time, those kind of people see cosplay as stupid, even though they go out on Halloween dressed up. It's the exact same thing, you know? Don't let ignorant people get to you. Not everyone in the cosplay community is kind, as you probably already know, but yeah, just try your best to keep strong. Don't let anything get to you, and just keep going, keep practicing, keep doing anything that you can in your power to try and improve, okay? Don't do it to a point where it burns you out, because I've also gone through that, but do it to a point where you're slowly getting happier with your, like, skills, you know? That is more or less the advice that I can give you. As I said, any tutorials that you want, just come ask. This next question is from my lovely friend May. Stupid question, but do you fall up the stairs? I do. Yes, I do. I fall up the stairs much more than I like to admit. I usually trip, like my foot gets stuck onto the little lip of the stair. And yes, I do fall upstairs, not as much as I used to, but I did a couple months ago, and I dropped my toast and I spilt my cup of tea that was boiling hot all over my arm, and I was so upset because the toast landed face down, and I was so upset because it was the last piece of bread. This is actually a really good question by another one of my mutuals. What's the cosplaying that you're dying to do but keep putting off? Cat Noir. For some reason, I don't know why, it's the wig. First off, the wig. And another one is because of the, like, bodysuit. Because I am not, like, plus size in any way, shape, or form. Also, support people who don't get love, okay? Because I have a lot of mutuals who are plus size or are people of colour, and they just get, like, hate all day long, and it's so stupid. Like, just because they're not the same as the character, that makes you think it's okay to hate. Like, you know? Or the people that are like, oh, this character isn't black, you can't cosplay them. Or, like, oh, this and that, blah, blah, just bitching about stupid things. Anyway, got off topic there. But, yeah, the really entirety of Cat Noir's outfit, even though I've wanted to cosplay him so many years. Like, so many years. And basically any cosplay that has a long wig, because long wigs are a nightmare. The next question is from one of my dear friends, Alex. I love Alex so much. And he asks, what's your favourite non-anime show and why? I have two. One of them is an animated show, which I'm sure half of you already know I enjoy. But, yeah, so Helver Boss. And then, like, non-anime, non-animation, all of that. 911. It's so good. Kind of like Grey's Anatomy and The Good Doctor, all of that stuff. It's in the same category as that. I love it so much. There's so much juiciness in it. There's so much drama, and I love it. I live for it. Alex has another question. I think. Yeah, he has another question. What made you decide to get piercings? Basically, I kept seeing people with piercings, and I was like, wow, that looks really good. Like, I wonder what I would look with that. What look like with that. My first piercing I did myself. Well, first piercing that wasn't the ears, nostril. Piercings are kind of addictive in my opinion. I did nose, and then I had my septum done, and then I had it done professionally, by the way. Then I pierced this side of my lip. And then that side of my lip. So, yeah, I really enjoyed how they looked on other people, and I was curious to how I would look with them. So I did them. I used to stick on and draw on snake bites and other piercings just to see what it would look like, and then I was like, whoa, that looks so good, and then got them done, or did them myself. So, Mel asked, what is the hardest thing about being a cosplayer? I would say the lack of kindness, because obviously with my mutuals and the people who followed me for good, they usually comment very nice things, but then there's also the side where TikTok or Instagram or somewhere puts me on the wrong side of the algorithm, and I just get flooded with hate comments. I feel like that's one of them, and it's getting a lot worse recently because for some reason all of these people, especially on Instagram, just do not like anything that is out of the norm. So I feel like that's one of the hardest things. And also feeling like you're not good enough, which is never good. Like, I don't wish that on anyone, but it is a very common thing in the cosplay community because a lot of more people start acting as if it's a competition or as if they're competing with other people, and they start comparing themselves, and it's just never good. Like, I used to compare myself a lot to other cosplayers, and it's just not fun. And it's also not fun when you're a cosplayer getting compared to other people. That sucks. Like, please do not compare cosplayers to other cosplayers. We all share a hobby. Where is the competition in that? Yes, some people are more talented and have better skills than others, but that doesn't make you any better, you know? Like, it doesn't make you superior to others. That is, like, what I would say the hardest thing about being a cosplayer. Next question is by Zay, and they asked, if you could collaborate with any cosplayer, who would it be and why? Personally, I would choose my friends who I only get to meet once or twice a year at cons. So, Jade and Lily, for sure. I'm meeting them soon and I'm so excited. I'm so excited. You don't understand. Just like a lot of my friends who I barely get to see, who I've already like got hopeful plans for, of like collabing eventually or doing silly little photo shoots together, stuff like that. I would much rather be in the comfort of my friends than someone who I've never met, even if they are my favourite cosplayer, which I don't have a favourite cosplayer, to be honest. But yeah, definitely my friends. Good old friends, including you. I really like this question. Where did your name come from, Melonboxxie? Okay, so, for those who didn't know, my first ever TikTok account was, I think it was pansexual cosplay, something like that. And then that evolved to Softie, spelt with 2 I's, .cos. And then that account got banned and I couldn't use that username again. So I posted a story and I was like, hey, what should I change my username to? And I was with one of my friends at the time, and we went to Tesco. And I picked up a box of melon from the meal deal selection. And then once we were back, they replied to it, what about Melonbox? That is the story behind my username. Melonbox.cos evolved to Melonboxxie because I created Melonboxxie for my spam accounts and for my Minecraft account. And now it's me on everything, not just my spam. So yeah, not very interesting story, but you asked for it. The next question is by another one of my friends, and they ask, what technique do you use for wig styling? I don't have a technique. I just kind of go with it, see where it gets me. I usually just backcomb, tease, all of that stuff, hairspray, brush out, repeat the process. I'm not great with female wigs, unless they're pretty short, or like they've got pigtails, for example, Natsuki from DDLC, her wig had like a bob-ish base and then 2 pigtails, and that was styled. But yeah, for male characters, I just like take the scissors and very slightly do that while going like that to feather it and make it more natural-ish looking. But other than that, I don't really have a technique. I wish I did, because I need to start styling more wigs. I've fallen off recently. I lost all of my wig styling talent, so I'm hoping to get back at it soon. Next question is from Alana, one of my friends, and they asked, what is your favourite memory at a con/meetup? I can give answer for both. At MegaCon Manchester in 2023, I was dressed as Ladybug, and a little girl saw me and she was in a stroller, and she was trying so hard to get her mum's attention, bless her. She was so desperate to come over. I was waiting for my friends at a BSD meet, and I turned around and saw her, and I was like, oh, she wants to meet me. So yeah, I just watched as she struggled to get out of a pram, and as she realised my mum's not looking at me, she unbuckled herself, ran over to me, and I knelt down and gave her a hug, and she asked me a bunch of questions. I answered in character, And she had the biggest smile on her face, and she was so cute. Like, moments like that is what makes cosplaying worth it to me. Like, that is like the highlight of cosplay, and I feel like a lot of people can relate to it. For the one at a meetup, it's a very similar thing, except this person was a lot older. They were, I would say, 10, 11-ish. I was in Manchester with my old friends, and I was dressed as Aizawa. We went to Forbidden Planet, which is like kind of a shop for the nerds, like D&D, anime, pop figures, like all of that stuff, comics, everything. And we went downstairs to look at the manga and the like pop figures, and there was a little girl dressed as Eri, and she saw me and she burst into tears because she wasn't expecting anyone to like be in cosplay. She had never met another cosplayer. She was so happy. I wish I got the picture. Like, I never asked for socials or anything. But yeah, she was really, really sweet, and she was so happy to see us. And yeah, that was, I feel like, I would say it was a meet-up because it was me and my friends going into Manchester. There was a group of like 6 of us, I think, 6 or 7, and we were all dressed as My Hero, so I would class it as a meet-up. But yeah. Now this next question, I can't remember if it's been answered in this video or the last one, but I've already said where I buy my cosplay from, so, or where I recommend buying cosplays from. So I'll answer the second part of the question, which is how long have you been cosplaying? This is difficult because I bought my first ever wigs. It was Deku and Bakugo. I didn't really cosplay Bakugo until like 2021. We don't talk about it, okay? My Bakugo was horrific. But yeah, my first cosplay was Deku. The reason I say first is because I do not like classing it as my first cosplay. I did his makeup with acrylic paint. I did his eyebrows, I did his freckles, I did everything, even eyeliner. I did it all with acrylic paint. Because as I said, I'd never done makeup before, so I didn't own any. My sister wouldn't let me use hers. So yeah, that was in 2018, and what I like to class as my first like genuine cosplay was Aizawa, and that was in October of 2020, I think. But yeah, it was an interesting time. Definitely improved a lot, but yeah. Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna end this video here because it is very, very long. It's 25 minutes, which again, as I said, I was not hoping to drag it out this long. But yeah, what I'll do is the first video was I think 15 minutes. So what I'll do is I'll answer these last 5 questions and just add that to that video because this one is much too long. Hope you enjoyed. I hope you liked my answer to your questions. I'm sorry if they weren't good. I am just honestly very tired and trying to think. Trying to think on the spot is not my greatest talent. So yeah, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed. If you want any more answers to questions about me, you can ask in the comments. I will probably reply to the comment instead of making a video about it because boy oh boy does it take time. But yeah, I had almost 30 questions, so I was expecting that it would take a decent amount of time, but not this long. Anyway, hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. I'm sorry if you heard any noises in the back. It is my guinea pigs, Noya and Sugawara. But yeah, thanks so much. I'll hopefully see you next time. Bye-bye.